Hello, everybody. It's Stan back with you for this next episode of Tim Talk with me, your host, Timothy Flood, coming to you straight out of the amazing central Kentucky city of Radcliffe. That's a joke. It's like Radcliffe's a joke. Yeah, we're about 20 miles south of Louisville, right outside of Fort Knox. Thinking about today. I didn't really do much today at all. It rained again. It rained. And I did my workout again and added a few steps, few extra exercises to downsize my spare tire around my core a little bit. Right now, that's about that. My core, the spare tire around my core, the love handles, I guess is what you call it, and my chest, about the only two things that need to be tightened up real good. So I think I can get. I wouldn't even mind the number I'm at right now, the 178, if I could just tighten it up. So we're working hard at that. Thinking about Luke a lot today. I don't even remember what I was in there in the living room with Mama earlier, and we was talking about something, and so I don't even remember what she said, but I just tears just came to my eyes, and they kept flowing for about 20 minutes or so, and God, I just miss that kid so much. Believe you me, I don't wish what I'm going through, or any parent that has suffered this loss will ever. I hope no one else would ever. I would wish that no one else would ever have to experience this. Even though I know that's a lost wish. It's just part of life, and I know that. Don't make anything easier. Trying to think. I'm thinking in a few months I'm gonna start having some guests on. I'm gonna start doing some interviews and letting some people interview me, and we can delve more into child loss, and my beliefs on God, and the way that I believe and how I came to that. I want to talk to some other people. I got some people in mind, like my mom, her belief. I like to talk to one of the elders in her. I don't even know if it's. I don't even remember if it's a church or if they just consider it a study group or Bible study or what. But I'd like to interview one of them. Just bring one up. Not really even interview them. Just talk to them. Discuss why they think the way they think, and tell them why I think the way that I think. And if you hear something going by, we've got a neighbor. I don't know where he picked it up, but it's like a 4-wheeler, and it is so loud and it is so annoying. I don't even think they're supposed to be driving it on neighborhood streets, but I wish they just quit riding it up and down through here. If they're gonna drive it out, there's a parking lot right. I mean, right behind the neighborhood, and go drive it over there for a little while. Pete's sake, give us some relief from that loud. I know I sound like an old man, but it's just ridiculous, you know? Anyway, other than that, I didn't do much today. I mean, I looked at my Facebook a little bit. I edited a video from the other night and got it uploaded. Got it uploaded to YouTube and got it uploaded over on TikTok. I always break it up into 3-minute clips and post it over on TikTok too, because it's a pretty popular app right now. I have put them on X too, but X is a little different than Instagram. I've never really had any. I've got an Instagram, but I just don't find it interesting. So it's just kind of generic. I think it's kind of a generic, like a Temu version. A Temu version of the other social media apps. It's very pathetic. Pathetic. Yeah. But, yeah. What was I even saying? Uh, I think our governor today, just an update on, the governor sent out a letter to the McConnell camp, Mitch McConnell camp, saying, give us an update. The people, your constituents, have a right to know, what's going on with Mitch. He's the senator. If he's not able to serve, then we know we have to run the special election. So I guess they're trying to. I mean, just get on TV and just say, "Hey, here I am." It's me on for 5 seconds. Hey, Mitch McConnell. Today's blah blah blah. I've had health issues. In the hospital recovering. Thanks for everybody's concern. And it'd be done over with. But why these clowns gotta pull this stuff like they do and just go missing? Maybe they're being cloned. I don't know. Maybe somebody's taking him and maybe they've cloned him and maybe that takes a few days. I don't know. I've seen that happen. I mean, there's been more than a few people that in the limelight that I think that's happened to, you know, and Jamie Foxx being one of the main ones. Jim Carrey, who else was it? Joe Biden. Let me think. There's several. If I could go down through, my memory just ain't what it used to be. But there's been several. There's been several. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy the world that we live in right now. Especially with that CERN machine over in Switzerland, the Large Hadron Collider. And I think it's bumped our reality into different lanes on more than one occasion. And I ain't talking about all the Mandela effects, 90% of them are people just misremembering. A couple of them I'll agree with, but most of them are just people misremembering. But some of them, 2 or 3 of them, I legitimately agree with. I think it is because of CERN, and I tell you what, I've had some more personal things that have happened to me in my life that make me think CERN has done things like, like my dad. At the end, that wasn't my dad. That just wasn't him. My son passing away. That has no explanation. Waking up one day and just not feeling like I'm in a totally different world. Had that happen 2 times. And here lately, I've just been having the feeling that I'm not myself. Like I'm me, but I'm not me. I know that probably doesn't make any sense, but here comes that daggone motorcycle again. Sorry, I've just paused it while he went by. It's so annoying. Maybe I'll just mute my mic when he comes by. I think I won't be able to hear it then. But no, this CERN is a very, very, and the world that we're living in is, I don't even recognize it. And I don't know if that's because, like I said, I'm a different version of me, or, was I pushed into this timeline, or was this timeline pushed into where I was? What is it? What happened? What happened? And I do believe in that. I mean, because physics ultimately proves proves that, you know, if you have a working knowledge of physics, you'd understand. But me and my son, we used to talk about it all the time, and we had different views on certain things, about space and time and life, and we talked about space time all the time. He thought space time was sorry, I just kind of spaced out there. I do that a lot lately, especially the last few days. I don't know what's going on. I think I have to, I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm working out too hard. I don't know. Where was I? I was talking about CERN. Oh, Luke. When he first went to college, he went. His major was astrophysics. That's how smart he was. That's how intelligent he was. People just don't realize it about him. He's very quiet, very, very, very laid back, very independent. You could not wrap your head around his level of intelligence. And when we would talk about it, we would talk about physics all the time. And, his view was that space-time was connected, and I think that they work independently. I think they have to, because I think time is on a constant. Not everywhere, wherever you are, it's a constant where you are, and it's not the same for everybody. It's perceived individually by each and every person differently, but it is constant, and it is straight, and it don't go up and down, and time don't go faster, it don't go slower. It just moves, and it moves through space. Or does space move through time? Space, I think, has to be set, and time has to move through space. And here's why. Because if space wasn't fixed, then when you moved and you came back 50 years or so, it'd be different. It wouldn't be in the same place. It would have moved in the all dynamic. Okay, and here's my take. I wish I had an illustration. Think of time as a line, and it's being pulled, or it's moving consistently through a fixed space at a constant speed. That, and like I said, it's perceived differently by each individual. Okay. I can perceive time as going at a certain rate that can't be calculated. It just can't be because it's different. There's no really way to calculate time other than day and night. That's the only way. Revolutions around the sun, that's all it is. That's all time is. Time is it's only man. It's only for us on Earth. I mean, I guess it could be for other things out in space if there are living organisms or whatever. But if there were, I'd like to have a very detailed, deep conversation with them on concerning space and time. And I don't think that space cannot be expanding. I don't think that's that's possible. It's whoever thought that up obviously has no no real what's the word I'm looking for? No real. It's not knowledge because they obviously have knowledge, but they have no real concept. They have no real concept of how reality and consciousness are intertwined. Okay? So, God plays a big, huge, the main part. And I'm just going to use this little box for a demonstration. Okay? You see this box? See the inside of the box? The box my webcam came in. Cheap webcam, works great, love it. But okay, so think of it this way, okay? When God created the heavens and the earth and space and all that, you got to think of a creator when you create something, especially a realm or a world or a universe, or you have to create it. It would all be contained inside a container. Space and time would all be in here. It would all be in here. Space, beginning, end, all the galaxies, it would all have to be, because God exists outside of space and time. Space and time have to be inside of a container, and consciousness is just consciousness. Okay, that's life. That's the electricity firing off in our bodies, but space is all in here. Okay, and then time is just if I had a thread, I could thread it through here. Okay, put a hole in one end and a hole in the other. Okay, and time would move, but space doesn't. Space is stationary. I'm just telling you, that is how it is. That's just how it has to be. So When you think about it, think about this box and then think about the beginning of time. The beginning of the string was right here when God first created everything. But then it came through, time came through space. Or maybe time had to have a starting point, as did space. They had to come into existence at the same time, because without space, you couldn't have time. Without time, there's no space. So you understand what I'm saying? It's God exists outside of it, so it has to be contained. And think about it. God can see everything. He sit here and he can sit here and look in this box. He can see everything. He's the ruler of everything. He created it all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the way it has to be. Space, stationary, time, linear, and constant. But like I said, my son, he believed, and maybe I'm wrong. That's my opinion. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. He thought space time was on the same. It was the same line. Okay, space and time was moving at the same speed down the same line. But I don't know. I think he may have thought waves faster. Variations. But I've always thought constant. And maybe that goes back to my strong belief in the Bible and the creation story there. I don't know. The creation story, it's mm, mm, sorry. I don't know. I was thinking about. I don't remember thinking about something. Um, Creation, the creation story. I mean, it. I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is. Myself personally, I don't think I mean, obviously, it's not what everybody thinks it is. Personally, God, Adam and Eve. God created Adam and Eve, created man and woman, but there were men and women already out there too. I think that's the story of him creating his chosen people. That's what I think it is. It's I think there's the other races and all that had already been created, and I think he was talking. He was creating this chosen race of his. You know, and he was going to keep them in the Garden of Eden, and I don't know. Maybe they were going to be our leaders or something. I don't know. I don't know what his plan was. Maybe, I mean, I know obviously his plan was for what happened to happen, but I don't know. It's a tough one, but I do know that it's not the creation of all things. Okay, it's just, to me, it's just, I mean, the creation story, of course, when he's talking about creating the world and the heavens and the earth and all that. I think that's the creation story. But I think there was a time in there when he created another, another. He created others. He had to have, because outside of Eden there were other people already living. I mean, that Cain finds his wife and he's afraid of the other people who are going to kill him, so God has to mark him. And there's just this whole, there's this whole, there's this whole gray area there in the. But I think obviously, I mean, logically, God had to create the other people as well. We just don't have those. We don't have those books. We just don't have those books. We don't have them. We don't. I'm sure there were around at some time. Maybe remembering throughout history, the great library at Alexandria was burned to the ground. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff there that was very valuable and very important to our history. That and not just in that war, but that's one particular that. Well, a lot of resources and a lot of reading, a lot of stuff was lost forever. And so, we'll never know what was in there. We'll just never know until we get to heaven, and then we can talk, we can ask. And, it's just, that's my take on it. My take is, when God started creating things on this planet, I think he created other man. Then, when he talked about creating Adam and Eve, that was the creation story of his chosen people. Because if it wasn't, it would talk about it. It would say, hey, this branch went off here and became such and such, became the people of Northern Europe, and these people became the Chinese tribes and the Japanese tribes and the Indian people and the Pakistani people, and, the South American people and the Indians of North America, and just so on and so forth. And that's just what it is. No grand mystery, no scheme, not trying to we got you, nothing like that. So, I don't think it's as big of a mystery as everybody thinks it is. I mean, that's just me personally. So, and take that for a grain of salt. You can. Everybody has their own opinions. It's like everybody's got a butthole and everybody's got their own opinions. So that's a good thing about life. But anyway, I hope none of y'all ever have to lose a child. I pray that none of y'all ever have to go through that. because it messes you up bad. I mean, it messes you up bad. Like here lately, I've been feeling the effects physically more than I ever have. Like heart fluttering, loss of shortness of breath, insomnia, headaches, breakouts on my skin, you know, and other things too. I just don't. It's so weird. It's so weird. I mean, it wasn't even a month or two before that, and I was thinking to myself, and I don't believe in coincidence. And I was thinking to myself, or maybe I was talking to God, or maybe I was just thinking because I do a lot of thinking. I did a lot of thinking before. But yeah, I was thinking my grandpa, he was in his 60s or 70s when he lost a son. My Uncle Vincent. He was 40, I think, 40, maybe 40 or early, he was in his 40s, early 40s, I'm pretty sure. And he passed of cancer of some sort. And I was thinking to myself, and I swear it wasn't but just a month or two before Luke passed. I thought to myself, how in the heck did Papa get through that? How did my grandpa get through that, losing his son? I mean, and you could tell the before and the after, the difference. I mean, it was, you could see it on his face and in his eyes mainly. And I know people can see it in my eyes. I know they see it on my face, and I try my best to hide it around my kids and my grandkids. But I know I'm going to see him again. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. The problem is I miss him. I just miss him so bad. And I'm never going to see him in the same capacity that he was when he was here. Because he's going to be, when you get to heaven, you're a perfected version of yourself. And as crazy as this may sound, our flaws and our shortcomings and our differences, and that's what makes us so special, is our individuality and the lack of perfection that keeps the variety, you know. And I know heaven's going to be great, and it's going to be paradise is going to be great, and that's what we all strive for, and that's what we all want. We all want to get home to our Heavenly Father and be with our loved ones in heaven. But for ever how long I have left to tarry on this rock, I have to do it, knowing be able to talk to him and spend time with him again the way he was, the way that he was. And he wasn't perfect, but he was mine. And I loved him just the way he was. Just the way I love all my kids, just the way they are. I don't know. I don't know. I know it's going to be tough. I do know that. It's it's going to be hard to go all that time without him. But I talked to him. I got all my memories, and I'm going to keep them locked up safe. I think of him fondly, and I always will. He was my firstborn. I think I've told y'all that. So that, I guess that makes it just that much harder. But I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to get off here. I haven't hit much on religion the last couple, 3 episodes because he's been on my mind so heavy. And this is kind of like an outlet for me where I can speak and talk and just let things out. And, I appreciate having this available to me and being able to share it with everyone that watches it. And, I just want to say that, I want to say that I hope God blesses all of y'all with good things, with a good life, with children that are healthy and happy. And I hope you all share your love with one another, tell each other what you mean to one another, hug your kids, tell them you love them, let them know you'll do anything for them. You'll always be there to protect them. And make them feel safe and protected by you. Because that's what kids need. They need that security and that stability. So don't go yelling at them, sending them off to school, having just been yelled at, or and they're happy to see you, but you're tired, and so you grouch at them, and it just breaks their little hearts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be good to them all the time. When you come in that door, pack that shit away. That stuff, that garbage. You pick it back up when you walk back out the door the next day if you want to, but it's best to just leave it for God. He'll take care of it. And just everybody, just be safe out there. Be safe. I want y'all to live long, happy lives. Full of blessings and opportunities. Just know that I love you, and there's at least one person in this world that loves you. So I'm just gonna say peace, and thanks for having me. The next time.